Today I want to talk about the image and opinion of Poles and Poland among Dutch people, because I did some research and I found many sources, and I have so much information now. I want to share it with you. So this video explores how Dutch people perceive Poland and Polish people. We look at Paul Hulsenboom's research of historical perspectives and also more recent opinions, and how these views have evolved and what factors influence the current perceptions. So the historical context of Dutch-Polish relationships dates back to the 17th century. That's where Hulsenboom did his research, and there was a strong diplomatic, economic, and cultural relationship between the Netherlands and Poland. Despite these connections, mutual stereotypes emerged that continue to influence the perceptions today. Paul Hulsenboom's research reveals that in the 17th century, Dutch people often viewed Poland as uncivilized, and it contributed to the mental division of Europe into East and West, which is still here. So what were those stereotypes in the 17th century? So he found in his research that Dutch people often described Poles as barbarians, with a society steeped in excess and violence. And this was influenced by labeling northern and eastern regions as less civilized. There were also some positive stereotypes, because Poland was also admired for its role as a protector of Christianity and its importance as a trade partner. And the impact of these historical stereotypes is, for example, on the mental mapping of Europe. Hulsenboom emphasizes how these 17th century stereotypes contributed to the mental map of Europe, where Poland and other Eastern European countries were viewed as other or less developed compared to Western Europe. And the political and cultural influence, the narratives constructed during this time were often politically motivated, serving the interests of Dutch diplomats, merchants, and intellectuals. And then we go to the modern stereotypes about Polish people. One factor that played a huge role is the economic migration. Since Poland joined the EU in 2004, a significant number of Polish workers came to the Netherlands to make more money, particularly in agriculture and construction. And this has brought positive and negative stereotypes in the Netherlands. Many Dutch people view Poles as hardworking and reliable. However, there are also negative stereotypes, with some Dutch people associating Poles with crime, alcoholism, and poor integration into Dutch society. And then we have a very significant thing that happened in the past. I was not really aware of it, maybe because I was not really focusing on politics, but in 2012 there was a political party in the Netherlands, the PVV. So they launched a website encouraging Dutch citizens to report nuisances, report difficulties caused by Eastern European migrants, particularly Poles. And this initiative reinforced negative stereotypes, and it also led to protests and diplomatic tensions. Many Dutch citizens and politicians criticized this initiative, highlighting the contributions of Polish workers to the economy, because I think that's always the case. Like, the positive side gets washed over by the negative sides. So Paul Hulsenboom advocates for more inclusive historiography, urging Western European historians to better recognize the contributions of Poland and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth to European history. So I was reading this research and I was like, this is so true, because I cannot remember that I learned anything about Poland in my history lessons at school. Of course, a bit of the World War II. And it's also particularly relevant for today's geopolitical climate as a better understanding of Central and Eastern Europe that can also help combat stereotypes and improve relations. Because Poland is not an Eastern European country, it's Central Europe. But you know, Dutch people keep talking about the Eastern bloc of Europe, and then so I personally try to tell as many Dutch people as possible it's Central Europe. Social research also shows that younger Dutch people, like me, who are more likely to interact with Polish migrants and visit Poland, tend to have more positive perceptions than older generations. So what is helping is tourism and cultural exchange. It's increasing, so this helped change Dutch perceptions of Poland already. Dutch tourists often return with positive impressions of Poland's rich history, culture and hospitality. I think that's also a huge part of my story, because I came to Poland as an au pair, and being an au pair means cultural exchange as well. So I personally didn't know much about Poland and came with an open mind. I had many people around me that had negative opinions about Poland, and that all changed, of course, now. And I think more and more people in the Netherlands as well realize that Poland is not what they have in their mind. And then, of course, you have the Polish communities in the Netherlands. In many Dutch cities, they are contributing to local economies and creating cultural bridges. For example, the mixed Dutch-Polish families further contribute to changing attitudes. So more factors that are influencing modern perceptions are, for example, economic contributions. Poles are recognized for this, and this helps to counterbalance some of the negative stereotypes. And then we have the media representation. Dutch media played a mixed role in this, in shaping perceptions, because sometimes they are highlighting the positive impact of Polish workers, while at other times reinforcing the negative stereotypes around social issues. Because I think that's the problem with media anyway, it's so negatively focused. If you watch the news, so I don't watch the news personally, but for example my parents still do, and if you watch the news there's so much negativity. Like, media is so negatively influencing our image of the world and about life that I decided already 12 years ago, I think, to not watch the news anymore. But I think the media representation, of course, doesn't help with the stereotypes of Poland and Polish people. And then there is a need of change. Holendrzy and other scholars emphasize the importance of breaking down negative stereotypes about Poles. This is essential for fostering better social integration and reducing discrimination. Very important. A more inclusive approach to European history, which acknowledges the significant role of Poland, can help reshape perceptions. Also true. So to conclude, the perception of Poles and Poland among Dutch people has been shaped by a complex history of stereotypes and cultural exchange dating back to the 17th century. With more recent factors like media exposure, lack of historical knowledge, and, for example, the discriminative views of some political parties, there are still negative stereotypes. But also a growing recognition of positive contributions of Poles to the Dutch society, and more Dutch tourists visit Poland and are surprised by it. So continued cultural exchange, tourism, and more inclusive understanding of European history can help shift perceptions further, fostering a mutual respect and understanding between the Dutch and Polish people. So this is important for me to make a video about because of my personal story as well, of coming to Poland and having those negative opinions around me, but then seeing for myself how it really is here and how good I feel here and how for me it feels like home. And then my friends and family coming here and feeling the same and understanding me now. And you know, it's important. It's an important topic for me. So I wanted to make this video. So thank you so much for listening. Please let me know down in the comments if you have any questions for me. And also feel free to comment about your stories and insights. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. And let's make life a bit more positive. Bye.